Today, I will be talking about opportunity cost. Opportunity cost comes about because of scarcity and decision making. Our lives are filled with plenty of decisions about how to use our time to get the things that we want most. But unfortunately for us, time is one of the scarcest resources there is. So, when you decide to act one way, there's also a flip side of the coin, a decision not to do something else. Your opportunity cost is the best option that you sacrifice to make your original choice. The importance of opportunity cost is to efficiently allocate resources and maximize the end result of that resource's usage. Opportunity cost doesn't have to be entirely objective, however. It is not all about the comparative cash value of each option, as you might think. It is more focused on how each individual values each of their options. The majority of us do like to look at the comparative cash value because we like to make money, but others may choose one option over another as a result of personal preference. You may choose to spend your paycheck paying off your student loans instead of buying that new toaster oven you've been dying to get, or spend it on new Jordans instead of your electricity bill. In each case, the opportunity cost is going to be the highest valued option that you didn't go through with. In this example, you are presented with the option to work at the car wash flipping signs for $2 an hour, or work at the family restaurant for $15 an hour. And here, working at the car wash is going to have a higher opportunity cost because you are giving up making that $15 an hour in order to make $2 an hour. But what if your passion is to flip signs at the car wash? Some people may feel that way, and so they will decide to work here at the car wash. But the rest of us who are a little more scared to follow our heart than our brain, we do like to look carefully at each of our options and decide which has the lowest opportunity cost, focusing on what decision we can make that will be most efficient for our well-being.
Meet Le'Veon Bell, ex-All-Pro running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and fellow enthusiast of economics. This 2018 season, he was franchise tagged for a second time, a non-optional one-year contract used by the NFL for teams to retain rights to a player. Le'Veon now had a decision to make. In a league where the lifespan of a player at his position is relatively low, he had two options. He could either play under the tag for a guaranteed $15 million, or he could not play and not make that $15 million. The problem with taking the 15 is that it also comes with the off chance of injury. And so if we are talking scarce resources, it doesn't get much more scarce than all-pro running back legs. As a result, Le'Veon Bell decided to hold out through the 2018 season, as he valued the potential of making millions in the long run, keeping his all-pro legs, and ruining your fantasy football season over making guaranteed millions in the short run. The $15 million guaranteed, then, is the opportunity cost of Le'Veon Bell's decision to hold out. The last thing that I am going to talk about today is how the observation of opportunity costs can be used to maximize efficiency. To keep this simple, we will only be looking at two entities and two goods that they produce in an amount of time, which I've determined here as cars and cell phones. Here, we are looking at an absolute advantage, where entity 1 has the capability to produce more in both good 1 and 2. Without trade, each of the entities can produce half of their maximum output for each good. So, for entity 1, that would be 20 cars and 30 phones, and entity 2 would be able to produce 13 cars and 15 phones, for a total of 33 cars and 45 phones. In order to effectively maximize their output, the two entities will have to trade. But who produces which good in an absolute advantage? This is where opportunity cost comes into play. Through opportunity cost, we can calculate who has the comparative advantage. So, the ratio between cars and phones for entity 1 is 60 to 40, and for entity 2 is 30 to 26. So, entity 1 has a higher opportunity cost to produce cars because it is giving up the production of more phones than Entity 2 would if they produced cars. Therefore, Entity 1 will produce phones, and Entity 2 will produce cars. Through specialization, based on comparative advantage and subsequent trade, the output of the production of these two entities can be maximized. Now, Entity 1 can produce 60 phones, and Entity 2 can produce 26 cars, leaving a total of 26 cars and 60 phones, which is more output than it was without specialization, 45 phones and 33 cars.